Hi everyone, so welcome back to Alex Adulting. You are here with me, Alex. So I just finished working, so I just came home, like go home lah, haven't reached my house yet. So I decided to just walk in the park to get to my house. So it's around about 20 minutes walk instead of taking 5 minutes walk to my house lah. So today I tried to do something different. So I'm using the front camera the behind camera instead of the front camera. So let me know whether the video quality is better or not lah. So basically today, right, I just want to talk a little bit more on how to actually manage your money when you just started getting your first pay. So basically, right, it's actually quite scary lah. Not really scary, like this is your first time getting money, maybe about 3K, 4K. I don't know what's your income lah. So after graduated from NTU, right, I see the average about fresh grad about 4K, 5K around there. So I don't really care about like how much is my pay comparing to the rest. But what I want to talk about is like how do you manage your money. So when you get your money, right, most people, okay, this is my first pay, I have been working very hard, I have been studying very hard, why not I just spend all of it? But that's actually not a good idea. But maybe for the first pay you can just enjoy yourself a little bit, but don't spend too much on it lah. That's my opinion. So I read this in the blog lah, some internet. So it's like how do you actually segregate a little bit on your money. So there is this thing called in the internet 50, 30, 20% rule, but it's not really applicable to me, and different people got different type of requirements, right? So different people have different types of rules. But long story short, what is this rule about? So this rule is basically 50% of your income, you should spend it on your necessity. So for example, like food, if let's say you rent, then you put it in under this necessity. So necessity for me is like food, transport. I don't need to pay rent lah. So this is my unfair advantage, I will say, that I don't really need to pay any rent comparing to a lot of people. Sorry, my hand a little bit tired. Maybe next time I bring a selfie stick or something. I hope you guys can see me well, so I keep changing hand, okay? Anyway, so where was I? Oh yeah. So my 50% is basically on my needs, something like food, transport, and sometimes I put Grab also lah. But I don't really Grab so much, so I spend a little bit, about 100 plus per month on Grab. Yeah, so I don't think that's a lot lah. But on MRT, I spend about 100 bucks per month, which is quite a lot. And then they say on December onwards, the MRT price also increase. So this is what I want to say also. Like it is very important for you to actually manage your expenses. So what I do is that every month, right, after I receive my bank statement, so I just download everything. Then I try to categorize them under a certain category. So for instance, I put it under my needs, for example, like food, transport. I also got put transport. I divided into several lah. So one is MRT, one is Grab, and the other one is cycling actually. So I use a lot of Go rides. You should have a little bit more, about like 6 to 12 months of your emergency funds. So for instance, right, if there is something happening to you, let's say you accidentally got retrenched, right, then you can survive with this kind of emergency funds. So that's the idea of emergency funds. Okay, I change hand again. Anyway, then another 20% is actually on wants. So it's like something that you want to spend on, for example, buying clothes lah, buying toy, or the recent one, the most popular one, Labubu. That is very popular recently. Okay, there's an airplane. Okay, so the airplane just go already, so I can continue talking. So for me, right, I don't really follow these rules. I don't follow 50, 30, 20% rule. So I adjusted based on my expenses. So how do I know how much should I put in a percentage wise, right? I actually do expenses for about 3 months first. So I categorize them, as I said. So I download the bank statement, categorize them, then see where I actually spend more. So my rule now, right, is actually changes. So it's actually 45% on my needs. So I don't really spend a lot on my needs because I don't need to pay rent. Then another 5% on my wants. So I don't really shop. But when I shop, right, actually, if let's say that month I don't shop, I put it in this kind, in the GXS bank. So the interest not a lot lah, but I mean I like the feature where they can actually segregate your banks. So you can put it like, for me I put it under sinking fund, monthly sinking fund. So those things that I don't really actually spend on my wants, I just put it there. So if I got big expenses, I can use that money or buy gift lah. Then another one is actually 20%. I put it under my savings. The reason why I put 20% is because I actually hit my 12 months emergency funds. So I believe that I don't really need to save a lot, but I can invest more. So that's why I put 30% of my money to the investment lah. But I won't talk about what investment do I put lah. I don't want to say all these companies that I invest or what ETF I invest. Yeah, but I might talk a little bit more about my opinion, but I will never ever say what company you should buy. The reason is because I don't want you guys to follow blindly lah, so you guys need to do your own research. Okay, yeah, so that's how I manage my money. So if you want to follow my rules, also can. So my advice to you guys is that if let's say you're just starting out working, right, what you can do is that you can try to spend per normal for about 3 months first. Then you actually can categorize the expenses, and based on the expenses, then you can come up with your own rule lah, your budgeting rule. So that is for me lah, 45, 5, 20 and 30%. So it's very different from 50, 30, 20 rule lah, because I don't really spend a lot, I save a lot, but instead of I save, I put it in the investment. So a lot of people say, oh, you belongs to the FIRE community, right, where you want to financial independence, retire early. I told all my friends about this lah. But honestly, after I think about it, right, I don't really want to FIRE so much. It's because like I just want to live my work life as usual. So I don't want to quit my job because I love what I'm doing. So it's not like I want to quit my job. So I feel like if let's say I have a certain amount of money already, I still can continue doing my job without scared of getting retrenched, for example. So that's my target. My target is not to FIRE lah. So it's slightly different from the rest. Yeah, so today I just talk a little bit, a short while a little bit more about how you actually need to manage your money. But you can follow my rule, but I strongly suggest you guys to try to do your expense. And if you guys think that it's very troublesome for you to like every month you need to sit down on your desk and actually write down all your categories, and actually it takes me about 2 hours per month to write all this because I have a lot of credit cards. So I need to download a lot of bank statements. So yeah, I'm planning to create some kind of AI to help me lah, but this is another topic for another day lah. Okay, sorry, a little bit panting so because it's quite tiring to hold my phone and work at the same time, so it's still quite far. Yes, and my bag is quite heavy. So going back to the expenses again, if you think that you don't really have the time to actually do your expenses, you can actually do similar to my sister lah. So my sister, instead of like downloading the bank statement every month, so she try her best to every time she spends something, she actually write down. So there is actually got a pros. The pros is that you actually can save a lot of time, and somehow like you can actually track like how good you are at saving money for this month. For my method, right, my method actually can't really tell you like, okay, this month how much I spent already. So I can only know whether I hit my target or my budget by the end of the month or not. So it's slightly different. But for my sister method, you can actually track it. But the disadvantage about my sister method is that sometimes you might forget to actually write down all your expenses. So because of that, that's why I decide to actually use the bank statement method. So different people have different way of doing your finances and expenses. So yeah, some YouTuber tell you all this kind, or you need to follow this 50, 40, 30% rule. But in my opinion, right, different people have different type of situation. So I don't believe that everyone must follow the 50, 30, 20% rule. So I feel right, you need to conclude this video, right, I feel right, you need to get your budgeting right. So the numbers you need to come out yourself. You cannot ask anyone about this because different people have different situations. Some people need to rent a house, some people maybe live with their parents so they can save more. So these kind of things, you cannot force other people to follow your rule one. So you actually need to come up with your own number. And how to come up with that number? Do your expenses for at least 3 months to see your trends. So yeah, this is just a short video. I'm actually reaching my house about another 10 minutes. I think I can reach my house. So I just gonna focus walking. Yeah, so this is me, Alex. I hope that this video is going to help with your journey as an adult. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.